Okay, I haven't really got a plug for this episode, so I'll just go over the previous two. So, Mark Payne's Pigskin podcast, if you're into American football, give that a listen. There's 4 episodes. You can find that on iTunes, so just search Mark Payne Pigskin podcast. And then there's my friend Aaron's Karate Club, karate-newcastle.co.uk. It's his own karate club, and if you live in Newcastle, the Heaton area, that's where it's based, so it's for children and adults. So that's karate-newcastle.co.uk. Check them out. Welcome to episode 3 of the Can't Be Asked podcast. This is a specific special episode where I talk about the history of my friend's band, if you want to call it a band, that I was in. We were called GaysFM. Yes, let that sink in. It's pretty long, I know, but hopefully you'll enjoy it. And if you're not interested, then don't listen to it. Here we go. Okay. I've actually done some preparation for this episode. Right, let's start from the beginning. Right, so GaysFM started, I'd say, autumn 2005. It just happened randomly. Like, the title GaysFM came from Steve, who just randomly, while we were recording, he just randomly came out with the term GaysFM. So what happened was, Mark and myself hadn't been friends with the William Edwards lot too long. I met Steve around May of that year, 2005, and Mark, similar sort of time, maybe a little bit before me. And over the summer, we'd spent shitloads of time together, all of us, me, Mark and Steve, and all of the William Edwards lot. I'd only recently, September-y time, I'd only really then started being friends with Libby, who became quite a fixture. God, that sounds a bit daft. Quite a fixture. Sorry, she was around a lot from that point on. God, my English is terrible. So Steve's room, we're talking about, let's have a look. Just scroll up, got me a laptop with me notes on. October 2005, Steve's bedroom had been sorted. Basically, it was a small bedroom. I only went in there once. Tiny, tiny bedroom. And the Harrises had a extension. And Steve's bedroom was ready, and we were up there, and we were like, wow, this is really good. That was a nice, big size room. Wooden floors, nice big desk. It was a really cool size bedroom, and they'd built a shower that was next door to Steve as well, so that was cool. So I've got here October the 8th, 2005, went round Steve's newly painted and extended room, started playing songs and testing out Windows Sound Recorder, because that's what we were hardcore. We had Windows Sound Recorder. We didn't have any of these cool programs that we now have these days. We had Windows Sound Recorder. And the thing with Windows Sound Recorder was you could only record 60 seconds at a time. So what you had to do was you had to record 60 seconds of nothing, and then keep pasting it on the end until you had like 8 minutes or something of a song that you could then record over. Because if you recorded, it would just stop recording after 60 seconds. So we found that out the hard way a good few times. So I remember this occasion of October the 8th, 2005. I believe it was just me, Libby and Steve. I might be wrong, but I'm looking at photos and it kind of looks like that. And we're round Steve's house playing guitar. My lovely Rita guitar, I believe. I'm wondering whether Steve had bought his acoustic Luther at the time. Not sure. And we were going through this chord book that I had commandeered, or Steve had bought, or I don't know. And we decided to play the Eton Rifles by The Jam. I didn't really know the song very well, so I was just strumming along to the chords in the chord book. I didn't know the tempo, didn't know nothing. I now do, obviously, from it's been 10 years. So that was quite fun. We recorded that, which you might hear a little bit later on. Then, about a week later, 8 days later, we recorded the first GaysFM session. So this is October the 16th, 2005. It was myself, Steve, Mark, Mike and Libby. They were all present. And we decided we were going to... I honestly don't even know how it came about. I think I must have been playing Wonderwall or something. Or Mark. One of us was playing Wonderwall on guitar. And someone started singing different words, you know. And we came up with the idea of... I don't know, someone must have said salesman whore. And so then we decided to write a whole song over the top of Wonderwall called Salesman Whore. I mean, everyone knows Wonderwall. Whether you're an Oasis fan or not, you pretty much know how it goes. So on the first one we recorded, which was Salesman Whore, well, it might not have been the first one, I don't know. This is just going on pure memory here. I was playing just acoustic guitar, and everyone else was singing. We printed it off in A3 with Steve's big A3 printer, and we sung. We did a couple of takes. I think I've only got one little muck up outtake. We haven't got the whole track, sadly. But that same night, we recorded a song called Steve, which was me, spare of the moment, with an F chord, just going Steve, 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 Steve. We recorded That's Bendertainment, which was the chords of That's Entertainment, just about being queer or something. I don't remember. Back in, I'd say maybe April 2005, maybe March, myself, Ben and Mark, this does link in by the way, myself, Ben and Mark had gone round tall Chris Smith's house, who had just recently got an electric guitar, and while we were there, or maybe not, I don't know, I might have just gone round Chris's house, I can't remember, I'll have to look into my diary about this, and Chris Smith, so he takes the credit on this, the tall Chris Smith, not the buttery Chris Smith that we all know, wrote the first verse of I Like Chicks with Dicks. Just a little cut in there. I did quickly pause the podcast to actually look into something that I should have really looked into. So yeah, it was early June 2005. Mark, Ben and me went round Chris's house, and he, off the top of his head, started singing I Like Chicks with Dicks, You Get a Bit of Both. He was a lovely bloke, now he's got another hole. I mean, I laughed so much, might have even fallen off the bed, because that was just off the top of his head, so that was really funny, that really made me chuckle. So yeah, that night as well, I'd obviously told, whether or not Mark was there, I can't remember if Mark was there when Chris actually came out with that, it might have just been me, I don't remember, but I told Steve about it, and it kind of got infamous in the few little people that I hung about with, sort of thing. And obviously it was only 3 chords, E, A, C. So we started playing it randomly. Me, Mark, and Steve. Steve on electric guitar. Me and Mark on our acoustics. So we recorded a very good metal version of that. That was really good. So yeah, that was that night. And I remember the first thing I wanted to do was tell everyone. You know, I don't know why, but it was. I mean, it was so much fun to do. It was a really good laugh. And I remember getting them on, I don't know whether Steve emailed me them or he must send me the WAV files, but the first thing I did when I got home, I put them on my big, heavy Philips jukebox. And then I remember taking them to college, and I remember playing them to Aaron, and Aaron was just like, what the fuck am I listening to? Salesman Hall, if you most people do it. You really like a TV show, or you really like a song, or you really like a comedian, and you'll be like, oh, watch this, or listen to this, and then you watch them look at it and not laugh, not enjoy it, not anything, and you think to yourself, actually, you know what? That's probably not even that funny. I don't know why I find it funny, but yeah, that was the reaction I got with some people. I mean, some of the other people quite enjoyed it. Not to say Aaron didn't, but I think Aaron was just thinking, what the fuck is this? But anyway, between us doing that and doing some more, I think we tried too hard. I mean, I've not got dates or anything. Well, I might have dates actually. Okay, no, sorry, no, I've not got dates, but I have still got the A4 bit of paper because Steve printed off the chords to Angels by Robbie Williams. Because, as I was saying, it seemed like we tried so hard to pull out these GaysFM songs, and we we were just covering other songs and ruining them, sort of thing. So we decided to do Angels by Robbie Williams, and we changed it to Anals, and I mean, that was actually quite funny. I think Josh was there that time. It was a mixture of people, maybe Amy, Natalie, I don't know. I think Josh and Natalie were still together at that point. And Josh was quite good with the lyrics on that. We never actually recorded it. Well, we did record it, but it must have... We haven't physically got a copy of it, which is a real shame. I mean, I'm sure Steve hasn't got a copy of anything like that, but that was quite funny. We did... I always used to sing to Amy, Live Forever, and Amy, I don't really want to know how you pick your nose. So we said we were going to record that. I don't think that ever happened. And then I think we had something about where Amy was in love with Steve. She wasn't, but I think we were trying to insinuate and it was Britney Spears sometimes, and it was, you tell me you're in love with Steve. And we have a little bit of recording of that in something else I will show. I will put in the audio later on. What else did we do? The girls hacked our GaysFM, actually. I can't remember what they called it. Lesbian AM or something. And they did a song about bacon, which was a Britney Spears. Oh, bacon, bacon, how was I supposed to know? And they did one other, and I can't remember what that was. But I'll have to ask. I think Natalie. It was around Natalie's house I did that, so I'll have to ask her about that. But yeah, so it went through loads of different, versions of things, and the next documented bit of information I have was April the 7th, 2006. Me, Mark, and Steve were around my mum and dad's house, my house at the time, and we had a bit of a lads' day. We went over the field and kicked the ball about. Me, Mark, and Steve. That was good fun. Went down to a chip shop, bought some food, bought some booze. Specifically remember Steve grilling the burgers in my kitchen under the grill, and the burgers all fell through the grill, and we were all like, no, But we came out with, that night, we officially recorded Steve, which was pretty easy. We came up with an original called The Story of Mark Payne, which was quite good, quite fun, quite funny. I remember to record that was good fun. Which was, I think it started off with me just going dun 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 dun, and I think I personally came up with, this is the story of Mark Payne. He says he's straight. We all know he's gay, and the rest of it was a bit of everyone really. But Steve's bits were very funny to do. Mark came up with Amy's mum has only got one knee. Which the music on that was just me strumming a guitar. It was completely random, completely one take. I'll have to go back and listen to it. That was good fun. And then we had we ripped off a Beatles song, which the Beatles song. Oh, there's someone next door deciding to do some drilling. I'm wondering whether you can pick that up on the podcast or not. But anyway, hopefully you can't. Yeah, so we ripped off a Beatles song, which is called "Why Don't We Do It in the Road." And and now my next door neighbour's phone's ringing, for fuck's sake. Right. Anyway, why don't we do it in the road? And we called it Why Don't We Do It in the Woods? We got the inspiration for this song because we'd heard a couple of friends, well, I'll say one friend and their girlfriend, we'd been told that they got up to no good on various occasions in Hangman's Woods. And we found it funny, or I don't know. So we decided to change the lyrics to Why Don't We Do It in the Woods. It came out a lot different than what we'd proposed it to. It was supposed to be like, why don't we do it up the arse, why don't we do it in the mouth, etc. But at the time of recording, I don't know if it was myself or Mark, or it's probably I don't know. We changed it to why don't we take it in the mouth, take it up the arse, sort of thing. So afterwards, we listened to it back and was like, oh my god. We kept it though, and we still got it to this day. And the best part of that song is Steve was meant to do something along the lines of, it ain't that sorry, I swear. And he was like, it ain't that sorry, I swear. Oh, and he actually cringes to this day when he listens to it. He's like, oh god. But it makes a song. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. And I remember at one point I even used crowd on my keyboard to make it sound like we were doing a live version. You know, we got both versions. I mean, the live version I think I just put away somewhere. It's not brilliant, but you know. Oh yeah, and the last verse was, why don't we do it in Amy's mum? She won't be minding, you know, etc. It was funny. It was really funny. And then in between that, we came up with, well, I don't know. Let me see. That was April 7th, 2006. Sorry, in between October 2005 and April 2006, we actually came up with another song, which was We Fuck Something, you know, not really. We had loads of sound clips that we recorded, and we put them over the top of an entrance song. And it come out very good. I mean, it's not something that you'd publicly put out there, but back in the day when we had MSN and we were, you could hold down F2 and record something on your mic and it would send. I don't remember. That was funny. That was good fun. So then I've not got dates or anything. I'm just looking through this book where we've got the lyrics of Why Don't We Do It in the Woods. Sadly, that's all we've got. Why Don't We Do It in the Woods? The lyrics. So we must have written. Well, actually, there's a couple of pages that have been cut out, which is shit. Hopefully. Well, I don't know. That maybe they had the story of Mark Payne original lyrics on. Perhaps I'll frame these in years to come and whatever. But anyway, me and Steve did a classical version of Why Don't We Do It in the Woods. I like chicks with dicks, do 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 do, which was good. It was like violins and electric guitar. That was good fun. Steve also bashed out Buggery Blues, which was really funny at the time. It might not be that funny now, but I remember having a good laugh about it. And that was one of the things that I mentioned about sound recorder. Sadly, there was probably loads more, but because the sound recorder had stopped recording after 2 or 3 minutes, we haven't got what's actually was recorded, sadly. But that's a good song anyway. And then one night, let me see, Fluff on Your Mouth. Oh, right, no, hold on. Before that, I'm jumping the gun there a little bit. Actually, I was about to talk about something that something else has happened in between that. I had been listening to a Paul McCartney. Once again, we ripped off another song, or I ripped off another song, a Paul McCartney song called "Your Loving Flame," and I really liked it. So then I decided to change the lyrics, and it was "How can I hope to reach your love?" And then I changed love to muff, blah blah blah, so on and so on and so on, and it was called "Fluff on Your Muff." I remember I was writing it around Josh's house once, and he was cracking up. I finally got it together, and I used to play it on piano and on guitar. The guitar version was actually pretty good because I had a lead guitar bit and bass, and it was good. But the girls would frown. The girls would proper frown. No wonder I never got any girlfriends in college. I was singing about "Fluff on Your Muff." I'd also recorded another song called "Smelly Puss." So yeah, that really helps out my means of getting a girlfriend. That was me at the time. I was learning Blackbird on guitar, and it's very picky and very do do do. You know, like it's a terrible example of me going do do. But anyway, and there was there's a guy called David Allen Curry, he's a country singer, and I'd been listening to some of his stuff, and I nicked some of his lyrics and put them in Smelly Puss. So I'll put it out there now that I nicked some lyrics, but hey, most of it was nicked. So yeah, and there's me like, oh, I've got a new GaysFM song, and the girl's like, oh yeah, and then I'm like, oh, Smelly, talking about Smelly Puss, and no, they were not pleased. And so it doesn't really surprise me really that I didn't get a girlfriend in college. It's coming out with shit like that. In fact, I remember years later, I was Sinead's birthday, Kylie's sister Sinead. She must have been 18, I'd say, I don't know. I assume it was her 18th birthday. And she had a massive house party, and she invited me round, and I came round, and it was just like one of Kylie's old parties, full of people everywhere, jam-packed. It was pretty much our Kylie parties, but 2 or 3 years later, it was mental. And there was this girl in there, and she was playing piano, and then she stopped, and she was like, oh, do you? I was chatting with everyone, as I do. She goes, oh, do you play piano? And I went, oh, a little bit. And I started twinkling Fluff on Your Muff, and they were not impressed. And I was just like, oh God, maybe it's time I should leave. So I did. But anyway, back to the timeline. So that was June the 12th, 2006. I'm getting that from a photo of me and my keyboard and some Fluff on Your Muff notes and stuff. But anyway, fast forward, July the 5th, 2006. Me and Steve had been out all day doing something, I don't know, we'd spend all day together. And we went back to Steve's house. Well, I just paused it there because I had to look through some of my notes to see if I'd had it written down. I didn't have it written down, so from what I remember of the day, I spent all day with Steve. We might have gone to Borders, we might have done Coal Asphalt or something like we did back in the summer of 2000. Back in the summer of 2006. Yeah. And then on the way back to Steve's, she was like, I'll come round mine. I was like, you know what, I really fancy some rum. And fuck me, this is the last time I fucking think I've ever said that. We went to the co-op, bought a little dumpy bottle of white rum. Was it white rum? Might have been white rum. Yeah, it was white rum. And a bottle of Coke. So me and Steve were getting drunk on rum and Coke, like you do. 18-year-olds or 17-year-olds, however we were. And at that point, we... Oh no, I'm missing a bit of the story actually. Sorry, earlier on in the day, Steve was around my house, and I just got Sony Jam Tracks, which was a bit of software where you could just add instruments and make loads of layers and stuff. It was really good. So randomly, without even trying, we made something called Blah Blah, which I was like, oh look, you can even we did all these drums, tracks, and guitar and all that stuff, and I was like, oh, you can even record vocals. So I recorded something, and I couldn't think of anything to say, and I just went, And then when I said, all right, you record something, Steve, and he was like, blah, blah. So I added blah, blah to it, and it sounded really good, and then I think we had a woman going, yeah, and then I think Steve added and was like, no, sort of thing. But anyway, so we recorded that. I think I must have put it on a USB stick or something, I don't know. I don't know if we even had them back then, but that night we got drunk and we put blah blah on the MySpace page, and we were pretty fucking drunk at the time. Probably me more than Steve. Steve can obviously hold his drink better than I can. And then we did a bottle of rum, and we ran out, and Steve was like, oh, I got some downstairs, I got some dark rum. So then we had a bottle of dark rum as well. We started to watch Blues Brothers 2000 and fell asleep. So I fell asleep next to Steve. Pretty much slept with Steve in the same bed that night. I remember the next night, I felt like shit. I really felt terrible, like one of the worst hangovers that I've ever had. We went round Ben's and with Mike, I think, and we watched an ECW pay-per-view. And then Kylie came round Steve's and we watched an England game. I don't know if it was England-Sweden or England, I don't know. I think it was Euro 2004, no. World Cup 2006 or... it was 2006, whatever it was. Euro Championships or what. Anyway, at that point, Mark decided he didn't want to be part of GaysFM anymore. Randomly. I think he messaged us on MSN or something, and he was like, I've just listened to blah blah, and obviously you guys can do a lot better without me. And we were like, what? Fuck off. Shut up. You're part of the GaysFM, because obviously we took ourselves serious back then. You are part of the band. But what I did say was like, oh, let's play this. Let's play that Mark's left the band. And I'm like at the time I'd made an Enemy cover of us on the GaysFM, blah blah blah, and then I made a news article saying that Mark had left the band, and it was like, and I remember a few people were like, what, Mark? Why have you left? As if we were such a big deal, and they were like, oh, what do you leave for? Mark was just playing along, like, oh yeah, no. And then over some time, I did a few more bits of. Mark had a new solo gig called AM Gay and all this stuff, and that went a bit far. And but blah blah and Fluff on Your Muff was probably the last time we all did something about it. Afterwards, it was just me trying to relive the gold, because that summer. Everyone went to uni. Well, no, Mark had a third year of college, but everyone else went to uni. It was just me tinkering about, thinking, I'll keep the dream alive, and I'll keep the fire burning, and I'll keep writing songs, and it'll be great, and it'll be brilliant, it'll be amazing. But no, when you do it on your own, it didn't come out very well. I mean, I had a song called Mechanical Foe, which I wish I still had. Maybe I've got it on a disc somewhere, I don't know. But musically, that was really good, but lyrically, it was dog shit. It was all about Amy's blue dildo. Me and Steve wrote a song called Harry H a while back, and it was basically Maggie May, and we were singing about when someone took a shit on their clothes and flushed it down Steve's toilet, and it was his dad Harry that found it, and it was like, "Wake up, Harry, I think I got something to show to you," and it was, it was dog shit, really. We never recorded that, and then there was this other thing that I had, which was called Awful Things. I'd completely forgotten about it until I found it on the GaysFM MySpace page years later. Thankfully, I stripped it off of the internet, and I've got a version of it somewhere. It's pretty shite, to be honest. It was me trying too hard. It wasn't even funny. It was, I don't know. And then there was one more called Favoir. I don't even remember what Favoir means, but I looked it up in the thesaurus. I can't remember why. It was a rip-off of, what's the song called? Venus and Mars by Wings. And it was alright. I remember I played it to Amy, because it was about Bev, and she was like, "Oh, that's really nice." But that was kind of the end of the road for GaysFM. There was talk of, when I said about the splitting up thing, it was going to be, we were going to get Harry. We were going to make a new GaysFM cover on the NME, and it was going to be me, Steve, and Harry. That was, and that never materialised. And then we got Lee as the drummer, which obviously nothing ever materialised with GaysFM. Me, Steve, and Lee have since done some jamming, but that never materialised with GaysFM. And Anna, for some reason, was a big fan. I ain't got a clue why she was a big fan, and she was going to be the manager, and she was manager. But yeah, that's pretty much the last thing we really did. We did a couple of music videos, like me and Steve randomly did some dancing one night. It was me, Steve, Mike, and Leanne were around Mike's house, and on the way home, we'd invented the backwards walk, and on the way home, we decided to do loads of dancing. Leanne was filming a bit of us dancing and stuff, and I can't remember why. And then I think midway through dancing, I was like, "Oh, we should do a GaysFM music video," and it transpired. And then I think I got home. I probably even did it that night. We got home really late, and I probably even did it that night and got it out there. And that was really good. That was very well received. One of my earlier videos that people actually liked back in the day when people did actually like my videos, because that went downhill very fucking sharp and steep. And I think we did. Me, Steve, Mark, and Chris were around my house one day, and we were just playing with all my brother's instruments. And I think I made that into a "Why Don't We Do It in the Woods" video. And that's pretty much been it, really. That was, to my knowledge, and I think I've probably got the most knowledge on it because I'm that type of guy that I remember the stupid shit that no one really cares about. Mark and Steve can shed light on it, and Libby or whoever can shed light on everything. But I think I've got the extensive knowledge just because I retain this sort of shit knowledge. The other guys have probably even forgotten that a lot of the shit that I've just brought up. But yeah, that's pretty much the story of GaysFM, and it's been quite nice reminiscing actually. The last little thing we had with GaysFM was, I think Steve was at, I don't know if he was at uni or he was in Barnsley or Sheffield, and he put a video up on Flickr. And Steve rarely uses Flickr. He had a little spell of using Flickr, and it was him just playing guitar and playing some GaysFM songs. That was pretty cool. But as this year is the 10th anniversary of us doing it, I'm gonna remaster them, if you want to call it that. And I'm going to eventually put them out on CDs and give them to everyone. That, cause that'd be pretty cool. So yeah, that's the history of GaysFM. And I'm about to add on to end of this. This is a bloody long episode. I'm sorry if this has bored you. But who the fuck am I talking to? No one's going to listen to this. But anyway, I'm sorry if this has bored you. But I'm now going to put the outtakes on the end because I dug out the outtakes and they're great. I really enjoyed it. I remember... we had all the outtakes. This is when Steve was in halls of residence in Guildford. And he had to go to lectures one day, and I was left in his room until he come back, because I think he only had one lecture or something. So I compiled all of the outtakes we had and put them into one file and emailed it to myself. About 8 years later, I found it, and I was like so happy that I found it. You know, so I'm going to put that on the end of the podcast. So enjoy. Right, here we go.
Oh, well, I can tell you that I'm 100% not gay.
We're fucking recording.
Well done, Mike. Mike put his contribution, of course.
Okay,
Right.
should we try again? Should we just try again with the...
Let's have a bit of calming. Did you pass this my tune?
You're not licking my face again, are you? Yeah.
Andrew, standing in one of your bloody flashbacks. Have you still got
Right, this next song I'm going to play is called Steve. Steve. The end. Wait, what's this called? Salesman Whore.
Yes, this is called Salesman Hall.
Standing at your door, I'm your salesman whore. Mark.
You bastard.
Right, here we go. Hey Steve, notice no one else sang.
I did think that.
Maybe all I need is sun.
What key are we singing?
I don't want to be so shy. I want to believe in everything you say.
No, clearly.
Alright, go.
I got
Don't roll.
Alright.
You can rock, but no roll.
Yeah, got it.
I was gay. Oh, that's not straight. But then I found Paul, and then I changed. Don't know why. Don't care. I met him there.
Cheddar.
Ah! Ah! You shot me, you bastard!
I have Mike's penis.
Shut up, I'm going to do something.
He's not downloading it.
Just take it.
Up the arse.
You've got too much stuff!
Are you ready, egg lady?
I'm ready.
Are you egg lady?
I'm not egg lady, but I'm still ready.
Ready? I'll start.
Stop up your beer and collect your facts. There's a row going on down here slough. Get out your fists and pray for the West. I'll get up mine and pray for myself. Thought you were clever when you marked the... Who are you playing?
Oh shit! I forgot there's not a chorus there.
Whoops.
It's now on.
Oh. How big's the file?
That'd be so much easier to do this rather than send it to me.
It's 9.25. That's not too bad.
Wait, is Mike online? How dare you just say this?
Yes, he is.
Kiss my sack.
Mark Spate! Pat Sharp!
I believe we are actually recording this. Yep, we are. That one is good.
I didn't put in any of the
That's what we call a bubbler.
What song is that? What did I do? I need your MP3. Oh no, your MP3. I'll delete the one I did.
The Beatles,
I'm
I'm
only
asleep,
sleeping.
but
Yeah.
Stereophonics have covered it.
Delete Satellite.
Satellite.
The whole album.
Yeah, there's only 4 songs on there. Should be enough.
Goodbye, satellite.
Goodbye, satellite.
Yeah. Anyway.
May you ever.
No, that was poor.
Hello, Michael.
Wiggle the gear.
Hello, Michael. So come and dance with me, Michael. I'm sexy. So sexy. So come and dance with me, Michael.
Did someone say wang?
So yeah, this has probably been the longest one I've done so far, episode 3, and hope you enjoyed it. And if you did listen to it and you were enlightened by what we used to get up to 10 years ago, I mean, there's more stories like that to come, I'm sure. But sorry, it's such a long podcast, but hopefully you got some slight enjoyment out of it, and maybe sometime in the future you actually get to listen to the remastered editions of the GaysFM songs. So, as one of the founding members of GaysFM would say, alright, shut up.
Tonight the headphones will